Okay, you know that feeling when you're getting ready for a big event and bam, you spot a new dark patch on your face.
Whoa, tell me about it.
Talk about a mood killer. It's happened to me more times than I care to admit.
Right.
So today,
Ugh.
we're going deep on hyperpigmentation.
Okay.
Those pesky dark spots that just seem to pop up out of nowhere.
Mm,
We're going to break down what causes them,
yeah.
what actually works to fade them, and really what you need to know to protect your skin.
And this is such a crucial topic because honestly, so many people experience hyperpigmentation and the impact it goes way beyond just the surface.
Absolutely. And to guide us through this deep dive, we're taking a closer look at the ultimate guide to hyperpigmentation.
Okay.
It's from topnaturalhealth.com. They've even got some special promo code pricing happening for listeners of this deep dive, so be sure to check out their site for details after the show.
Great article and a good place to start because understanding hyperpigmentation, it really starts with melanin, right?
Hmm.
It's the pigment that gives our skin its color. And when certain things trigger it to kind of go into overdrive, you get these patches of darker skin.
So it's like our skin has this like internal sun tanner that sometimes gets a little too enthusiastic.
Exactly. And just like some of us tan more easily than others, right? Some people are just genetically more prone to hyperpigmentation. It's like they're starting the game on a higher difficulty setting, which we'll get into more a bit later.
Okay.
But first, it's important to know that the sun, well, it isn't the only culprit.
Right. The article mentioned a bunch of other surprising triggers like hormones.
Yeah.
As someone who's battled the dreaded mask of pregnancy, that one definitely hit home for me.
Oh, yeah. Hormonal changes are a huge factor, especially during pregnancy. But think about it. Even something as common as birth control pills can trigger those melanin factories to pump out extra pigment,
Really?
especially if you're also exposed to the sun.
So even if you're like diligent about sunscreen,
Right.
those hormones could still be working against you. This is already eye-opening and we're just getting started.
Right.
Okay, so hormones and sun exposure are biggies.
Right.
But the article also mentioned inflammation.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that could even play a role in hyperpigmentation.
Yeah. It's a sneaky culprit.
Right.
We're talking about post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, or PIH for short.
Okay.
Basically, anytime your skin is inflamed from a cut, a bug bite, or yes, even a breakout,
Right.
it can trigger excess melanin production, leaving a dark mark behind long after the initial injury has healed.
So even if you resist the urge to pick at a pimple, which, let's be real, is easier said than done,
Right.
you could still end up with a reminder of that breakout. That's kind of brutal.
Yeah, it's true. Those dark spots from PIH can be just as stubborn as the ones caused by sun damage.
Wow.
And here's where things get really interesting. Even certain medications can trigger hyperpigmentation.
Okay, now that's one I definitely wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah.
What kind of medications are we talking
You
about?
might be surprised. We already talked about birth control,
Right.
but some antibiotics, anti-inflammatories,
Wow.
and even certain chemotherapy drugs can also have this effect. It just goes to show that it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor about any potential side effects, especially when it comes to your skin.
Wow. This is like a crash course in reading between the lines of those medication labels.
Yeah.
Talk about important information to have. It's making me think twice about all those over-the-counter skin lightening products I've used in the past. Speaking of which, the article had a whole section about the potential dangers of some of those traditional products, and I have to admit, it made me a little nervous.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
While those products might promise, like, quick results,
Right.
it's crucial to understand the potential risks involved.
Okay.
Some of the ingredients commonly used in these products can actually do more harm than good in the long run.
Like what? Give it to me straight. What ingredients should we be watching out for?
One of the biggest culprits is hydroquinone.
Okay.
It's been a go-to ingredient for skin lightening for a long time,
Right.
but there are some serious concerns about its safety, and some countries have even banned it altogether.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Banned. Okay, now you got my attention.
Yeah.
What's so bad about it?
Well, for starters, hydroquinone can actually cause something called ochronosis, which is basically the opposite of what you're trying to achieve.
Right.
It can make your skin darker and thicker.
Oh, wow. Talk about a skincare nightmare.
Yeah.
So not only is it potentially harmful,
Right.
but it could backfire and make the problem worse.
Exactly.
Wow.
And as if that wasn't enough, hydroquinone can also cause irritation, redness, and dryness, especially for people with sensitive skin. But perhaps the most concerning thing is that some studies suggest it could be carcinogenic with prolonged use.
Okay. I am officially adding hydroquinone to my list of skincare no-nos.
Yeah.
Are there any other ingredients we should be wary of?
Definitely keep an eye out for mercury.
Okay.
It's less common these days, but some skin lightening products, especially those sold online or in certain countries, still contain it.
Yeah.
And mercury poisoning is no joke.
Right.
We're talking serious health problems like kidney damage, neurological issues, and even death in extreme cases.
This is eye-opening. I feel like I need to go through my entire bathroom cabinet with a fine-tooth comb when we're done here.
It's always better to be safe than sorry.
Right.
And while we're on the topic of ingredients to avoid, let's not forget about corticosteroids. They're often found in creams that promise fast results.
Right.
But using them long-term can actually thin the skin, making it more susceptible to damage and infection.
Wow. Who knew something that's supposed to help your skin could actually make it more vulnerable? So with all these potential risks, is there a safe and effective way to address hyperpigmentation? What are people supposed to do? So with all these potential risks, is there a safe and effective way to address hyperpigmentation? What are people supposed to do?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It is.
And thankfully, the answer is yes. There are natural alternatives out there, and the article we're diving into today highlights one in particular, Illuminatural 6-Aya.
Okay, and before we go any further, I just want to reiterate that we're not here to give a full-blown product endorsement.
Right.
Our goal is to look at the science behind these claims.
Exactly.
Give you the information you need to make informed decisions about your skin.
Exactly. So Illuminatural 6-Aya is a skin-brightening serum that uses a combination of natural ingredients to target those dark spots. One of the key ingredients they highlight is niacinamide, which you might recognize as vitamin B3.
Okay.
It's a bit of a rock star in the skincare world these days.
Oh, yeah, niacinamide. I've definitely seen that one on ingredient list before, but I never really knew what it did.
It's a multitasker. Niacinamide is an antioxidant,
Okay.
so it helps protect your skin from environmental damage, which we already know is a major contributor to hyperpigmentation.
Right.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Niacinamide can actually help prevent those dark spots from forming in the first place by inhibiting the transfer of melanin to the skin's surface.
So it's like it's intercepting those melanin messengers before they can deliver their payload of pigment, like setting up a roadblock on hyperpigmentation highway.
I love that analogy. And niacinamide works even better when combined with other powerful ingredients, like alpha-arbutin, another one of the key ingredients in Illuminatural 6-Aya.
Alpha-arbutin, that one sounds familiar too.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's a natural skin lightening agent that's extracted from the bearberry plant.
Okay.
And studies have shown that it's effective at reducing hyperpigmentation without causing irritation.
Right.
Which is a major plus, considering what we just learned about some of those harsher ingredients.
Okay, bearberry plant for the win. It sounds like Illuminatural 6-Aya is trying to work with your skin's natural processes rather than just throwing harsh chemicals at the problem.
Yeah.
But what about those dark spots that are already there? Can this serum help fade existing hyperpigmentation?
That's where cell turnover comes in.
Okay.
Imagine your skin like a constantly renewing canvas, shedding old, damaged layers to reveal fresh new ones underneath.
Right.
That's cell turnover in a nutshell.
Okay.
Illuminatural 6-Aya contains ingredients that help accelerate this process.
Okay.
So those dark spots fade more quickly.
So it's like giving your skin a gentle nudge in the right direction, encouraging it to renew itself more efficiently.
Exactly.
I like that approach. But we have to acknowledge that everyone's skin is different.
Of course, yeah.
And results will vary.
Absolutely. What works wonders for one person might not have the same effect on another.
Right.
And that's why understanding the science behind these ingredients is so important. It empowers you to make the best choices for your skin.
I couldn't agree more. Knowledge really is power when it comes to skincare. So to recap for our listeners, hyperpigmentation is a common concern, but it's essential to be mindful of the ingredients in traditional skin lightening products.
Absolutely.
There are natural alternatives out there, like the Illuminatural 6-Aya we discussed today.
Right.
But as always, do your research.
Yes.
Read those labels carefully.
Please.
And talk to your dermatologist if you have any concerns.
Couldn't agree more.
And on that note, we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of hyperpigmentation.
It's been fun.
We hope you learned a thing or two about what causes those dark spots, what ingredients to avoid, and what natural alternatives might be worth exploring. Don't forget to check out topnaturalhealth.com for more information. And those special promo code offers on products like Illuminatural 6-Aya.
Yes. great information over there.
Until next time, take care of your skin, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.